What's going on, guys? Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to share a video that was initially uploaded over on my digital marketing agency's channel, which is called Landscape Marketing Pros. The focus with all the content on that channel is attracting lawn care, landscaping, snow removal, really any type of outdoor service company, and converting them into clients that will pay for web design and SEO and other digital marketing services ranging from anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. And while I was editing that video, it seemed like this would be a perfect fit for content for you guys here on the channel, because I don't believe I've done a really broad 30,000 foot view of SEO and how it actually works and how it's beneficial to someone that is either building a business offline, or for the people here on my channel who are building an online business and ranking a website, acquiring traffic, and then converting that traffic into phone calls or leads, for which we then sell the leads either to an affiliate network or directly to a business. However, the principles of what we're going to cover here are pretty much universal, whether the business has an offline presence or it is strictly set up for just generating leads online. So enjoy the content. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. And with that said, let's get into it. Okay, guys, welcome into my computer. So before we get into the steps of what makes an SEO campaign successful and getting into the whole process, I need to establish and define what SEO is, because I know there are a lot of beginners that watch the channel, not only beginners to lawn care and landscaping and starting a business, but also guys that have been in the industry for a while and may not understand everything when it comes to online marketing. So the way that you need to approach SEO is simply that it is a traffic source. So a way to get people to come and view your ad, which in this instance is your website, and get them to do something. Make a phone call, send an email, submit their information through your contact form. And SEO is actually an acronym for search engine optimization. So here is what happens in a nutshell, and here's why it is valuable. So we create a website here we get a domain from Namecheap, then we go get hosting from HostGator, and you create a website from this absolute nothing. And SEO is basically the process of taking this website and creating information, content on there to then get it to show up in specific search engine results. For example, being as we are a digital marketing agency, I'm going to show you guys that we walk the walk and we talk the talk here. So this campaign is still ongoing for a company called Always Greener Landscaping. They're based in Eastern Pennsylvania. But for this particular city, which is Wescosville, in the term of Wescosville Landscaping, we're showing up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th spot. For lawn care in Allentown, which is the home city of this company, we have the homepage ranking here in the 9th spot. This is a pretty competitive city, but we are still working on getting them up towards the top. Over here for Laurie Station, a city just north of Allentown, Laurie Station Lawn Care, we have the #1 spot. Cridersville is another town, I believe just to the north. Yeah, it's just straight east from Laurie Station. And we have the #1 spot there. Fountain Hill is another town right near Bethlehem and Allentown. And I believe we have the 3rd spot right here. So having your website here is a very, very valuable spot to be, because when someone's going to Google and they're typing in exactly what it is that they want, this is very buyer-centric traffic. These people here are looking for a quote, or in some instances they're ready to sign a contract right now and get service or get a project started. So being here is very valuable. And even though the whole world is just going crazy about Instagram ads, Facebook ads, or whatever, this is still the best traffic source for any local business, without a doubt. So that is the actual execution of SEO. You just really need to look at it as a traffic source. If you were to look at another traffic generation strategy, let's look at something like the ShamWow, for example. Now, I don't watch any TV because I think most of it is absolute garbage. Actually, all of it is garbage, but they're probably running ads during late night infomercials because they know that people watching at 2 a.m. or whatever are probably going to buy that crap. So they run ads where they know their target audience is. And for this instance, you could technically call this running an ad, even though it is organic. We do not pay anything when someone clicks to go to this page, versus like an ad, which I'm on incognito, so it's not going to show the ads, but you would have to pay for that click, and they can vary tremendously. In some niches, such as water damage restoration, you could pay $250 for that click. It is really, though, just a traffic strategy in order to get people to come view your media. In this instance, it's your website, or if you were running a billboard, then get people to get their eyes on it and then get them to take some type of action. So that action would be the beginning of your sales process. So that'd be them making a phone call to your company, sending you an email directly, filling out your contact form on your website in order to then request a quote, and then the proposal phase and everything else that you do in your entire sales process from there. So one last thing when it comes to SEO, and that is really just the subject of what happens after you capture that lead. So granted, yes, we are a digital marketing agency. Our goal is to acquire as many clients as possible and help them get more leads. But your process after the lead comes through needs to also be equally as effective as your strategy for acquiring those leads. The process from someone either answering the phone or replying to the email or sending an email or reaching out to that new lead that submitted their information through your contact form, that needs to be really, really refined and just really set up to begin that sales process and make sure it is very optimized through everything from the initial contact to the meeting when you're going out to take site measurements, and then to the proposal phase, to the contract signing, to the project start and completion. That whole process really, really needs to be optimized and systems in place, which I know is said very, very often, but it's equally as important as having new leads coming in. And while having leads coming in is very, very, very important, the fulfillment process also needs to be optimized so that way you have happy customers, and then happy customers will give you good reviews, happy customers will refer their friends and family to you, and then you can really grow from there and really maximize the value of every single one of your clients, because that's what it is all about. Anyways, we're going to start off with OnPage SEO, because like a patio, this is going to be the base material. This is going to be the class 5 or the crushed recycled that you're putting underneath the patio, and this needs to pretty much be perfect. The slope and the compaction, everything has to really be on point. Otherwise, everything else we do after the fact is just going to be sloppy, and it's not going to totally crumble. But what can happen is that it can end up just not performing at its best. So your on-page content is going to begin with your homepage. So you are going to obviously want relevant content. You can head over to Always Greener's site and kind of see how this is all laid out. But you want the homepage to be obviously about the company, introducing someone to the brand, that sort of stuff. But as far as the city goes that you're targeting, you want that to be about the headquarters city. So for example, they're based in Allentown. You want the homepage to be about Allentown landscaping or Allentown lawn care or whatever services you offer in your home city. So then next up you have your core pages. And actually I'm going to draw this out because this is something that is very, very visual and is very, very important. So you have your homepage. Then you have your core pages. So this would be like your About Us, your Contact Us, and then you have your services page. So that's going to be the page that talks about the specific services you offer. What I would recommend is going even more in depth with each one of the branches of services that you offer. So this one would be landscape design. This could be landscape installation, landscape build, landscape construction, however you want to word it. This would be lawn and maintenance related, and then this one would be snow related. And you can also have a blog on there if you want. And then also you'd want to have a service area if you service more cities than just your home location serves. So obviously Always Greener serves a bunch of cities all around Allentown. So what we do from there is create pages all about City 1, City 2, City 3, I think they're targeting like 18 different cities or something crazy like that. But these pages here are your city plus service pages. And these pages here are called your service plus city pages, or at least that's how I refer to them. That may not be the technical term according to whoever, but I don't care. That it is what they are. They're a page that is all about a service in a particular city. So what we did for Always Greener was combine the two, landscaping and lawn care, or landscape design and lawn care. What I would recommend that you do if you're someone who's not very advanced with SEO and being able to make this page rank for multiple keywords, because if we type in Cridersville landscaping, our page also shows up here as well, even though it is about both content, because these are different searches. So what I would recommend that you do from there is basically create your service area and then have your categories listing out each branch of your service. And when it comes to the actual city plus service pages, you'll see over here at Always Greener that we just created one page to do both landscaping and lawn care, but they are generally different searches. If you type in your city plus lawn care and then your city plus landscaping, you may see different companies show up. Obviously, because not every company offers lawn care and landscaping. But what I would recommend that you do for your site, if you're building this out on your own, or if you're just really not advanced with SEO, or you don't have the budget to hire a digital marketing agency to do SEO, you're going to want to build out very specific city plus service pages. So you're going to want to have basically on the service area page, you'll list out different sections for the branches of services that you offer. You'll have landscape design as a heading, and it's going to list out, okay, we offer this service in these cities, and then you have links to each one of those pages. So that's all about landscape design Allentown, landscape design Laurie Station, landscape design Cridersville. Then down below, you have another section that is all about landscaping or landscape installation, landscape build, landscape construction, whatever. And then a page about each one of those services in those cities. You can mix these two together because they do somewhat go together, but I'll leave that up to you. And then you'd have another section for lawn care, and then it has links to the specific pages that are all about Allentown lawn care, for example, or whatever city it is, not your home city, by the way. So then you'd have this one be about Laurie Station, Cridersville, Fountain Hill lawn care. And on these pages, you're going to want to have at least 300 at a bare minimum for amount of words on here. 400 to 500 is better. When it comes to competition analysis and seeing what your competition has, you are going to really want to make sure that you have more content than them, because that's going to allow you to outrank them. And you can take this a step further if you'd like with the individual service pages. So if you had one for aerating, or you had one for dethatching and spring cleanups, then you'd have a page that's all about aerating in Laurie Station, aerating in Cridersville, aerating in Fountain Hill. Same thing down here. And when you consider the time investment to create these pages, or whatever it is that you have, or for however much you'd have to pay a digital marketing agency to create these pages, let's say it's $100 for each one of these pages, that's $300 that you pay for one of these pages, and that site is up forever. And let's say you land 6 new aerating clients at $100 a piece in the fall. So you basically just doubled the investment that it took to create these pages, and they're still good forever. And yes, obviously there are your costs and that sort of stuff, but your return on ad spend is huge when it came to that. So just some ideas to put into your head for what you're doing with your site as we move forward. So we have our core pages, which are these guys here, the base level right below the home page. Then we have our magical city plus service pages that make us our money. And also your on-page, things that you need to make sure that you do are your keyword research. And if you're in the industry and you understand the services and the different synonyms that are used for the services that you sell. So for example, if someone's looking for lawn care, they may not always type in lawn care in the search bar. They may type in grass cutting. They may type in lawn mowing, lawn maintenance, or whatever. So what you'd want to be doing is on these pages that you're trying to get ranked, whether it's your home page or it's any of these city plus service pages, you want to use those synonyms in your headline text and also throughout your paragraphs and in your content and as your alternate text and your images to basically tell Google that, okay, this is not only about lawn care, but this page is about maintenance, it's about mowing, it's about grass cutting, it's about everything else. So then what you'd want to make sure that you are doing though is on these city plus service pages in particular, and even on your homepage, is about a 1 to 2% keyword density. So if your keyword is Allentown lawn care for the homepage, and you have 500 words on there, you don't want more than about 1 to 2%, which is about 5 to 10 instances or occurrences when that page says lawn care in Allentown, or the best lawn care in Allentown, for example. So keep that in mind as you move forward. Now also at this point in time, you would want to be submitting your site into Google Search Console, so that way you can monitor everything in there. And if you don't know how to do that, just Google Search Console. They have great tutorials because obviously they want you to use their services. And then also you want to be checking to make sure that your site is indexing. So what you do there is you go to the search bar, or actually just go to the address bar of your browser, siteandyoursite.com. And that's going to show you all of the pages that have been indexed by Google's bots. Now this does not mean it's showing up in the search result. This just means that Google recognizes it and that it exists. So I know that this was a very, very long first step. However, like I mentioned, this is the foundation to your entire SEO campaign. It's just like a patio. If the foundation and the base material is not done right, everything else is not going to perform at its best. Next up, you're going to start employing some off-page SEO. Now, I know people like to talk about PBNs. They are very powerful, but there are a lot of things that you do before you even think about acquiring a single PBN link. Whether you're going to buy it from an outsourcer or you buy them on your own if you're someone who's interested in doing your own SEO, or you're paying a digital marketing agency to manage your SEO for you, if they're smart, they're not going to start building PBNs on your site right away. So what you need to be doing is, pretty much at the same time that you're building your site, is getting your Google My Business listing, because they are 100% free, and having them, and it's not always going to rank, but in some cities, depending on the competition level, your Google My Business listing may rank right there in the top 3-pack without having to do a whole lot, which is really cool, because then you're getting free traffic right there without having to do anything. All you had to do was be resourceful and go and fill out the information, wait for the postcard to arrive, confirm the postcard's arrival with the verification code that Google requires, and then boom, you're in business and the listing's live. So get that claimed right away. And technically from there, that's your first quote unquote backlink pointing to your site, which is going to your homepage from your Google My Business listing. Next up, what you need to do is create citations. Now, this is something that if you're not an advanced person who knows what they're doing with SEO, I would really suggest making sure you outsource it to someone who knows how to do this. But essentially, a citation is any mention of your business in the specific form of a NAP, so name, address, phone number, and I can't spell, I'm just typing quick, but on any particular page. Generally, these are going to be sites like Manta, Yelp, Foursquare, Silex, to name just a couple. And there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of different citation directory-style websites out there where you can obtain a citation, which is basically a very high authority link that's going to point at your website. And what this is really doing is creating a hub of energy around your website, so to speak. And in SEO terms, we kind of refer to this as link juice, but it can best be explained with just this, with creating a hub of energy. And when more and more citation sites are pointing at your site, pretty soon you may even start to see depending on how competitive your search terms are, you may see your site starting to rank for your home city's keywords. So for example, if your site is lawn care in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, something that's not crazy competitive, you may start to see the rankings increase just from doing citations. But now I forgot to mention this, but these directories are basically just going to include information about your business. So it will definitely include name, address, and phone number, but it also includes other things like hours of operation, a short description. It's going to have a link to your website. And the point I want to drive home that you know and understand when it comes to this, which by the way, these are very, very time consuming to create, but you need to make sure that every single citation that you create for your website is congruent with one another, with the way that the words are listed out. So by this, I'm saying that, okay, if your company is called John's Mowing, or well, I'll just do John's Outdoor Services. On every single site, because you have this parenthesis here, you have these specific capital letters, these all need to be the exact same across the board. And if you have your address with your Google Business listing as just showing your city, you want to make sure that your address isn't shown, unless you don't care if it's shown, but you want to have just an NA for the address. And then for your city, we do Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then your zip, and then I don't even know what the zip is. I think it's 55401 for Minneapolis. There's a lot of them. But then here's what's also very, very important with your phone number. You need to have this listed out in this exact same manner with your parentheses, the area code, parentheses, space, first 3 dash final 4. And this is very, very, very important. And also what you'd want to be doing is on the footer of your page or somewhere listed on your site, I prefer footer because then it's on every single page. You want to have this basic information here, maybe even your hours of operation below, all that stuff written out in this same manner on your website is in addition to all these citations. So if your hours are 8 to 6, you need to make sure that they're 8 to 6 on every one of these sites that you're submitting these listings to. And so that's step number 2 in a nutshell. And one last thing on citations is when you have your website listed on the site. So when it comes to your URL of your website, just like everything else on these citations, they need to be congruent with everything else listed everywhere. So if your website is listed as HTTPS, the slashes, and then you have johnsoutdoor.com with no www, if that's how your URL is for your site, that's how you have it listed. But if you have www, then you have that in there. It has to be congruent. It's very, 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 very important. So then you can move on to your social profiles, Facebook being the most important as far as SEO goes. But you want to be sharing posts that say, hey, check out our website. And then you want to have interaction on those posts, because what that's going to do is send a small signal to Google saying that, okay, hey, people here on social media are saying that this website is a great source of information for this particular thing. In this instance, it's John's Outdoor Services in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, there are some things that you can do as far as SEO goes called social signals, where you can basically have hundreds, if not thousands, of these social signals sent out. And what this is going to do is help influence Google with ranking your site, because they see that social media is going nuts about that website for that particular keyword, and it may boost your search engine result as well. So things to keep in mind. Then there are some more other technical things that you can do, such as Web 2.0s, but I'm going to keep this video broad because it's really what the video is about, is just the understanding of the whole process. So as we move into step number 3, I want to really make this clear that this is not a 2-week thing that we're doing here. I know with running ads, you just throw them up there and you get them running and you're good to go and you optimize. With SEO, this is a multi-month plan. This is a 3 to 6 month campaign, maybe 2 months, depending on how competitive the cities are that you are targeting. But as far as the content creation goes, like your City Plus service pages, you can crank them out in a week if you have the time to, if you're doing it yourself. But you don't want to be using the same content from city to city page. You need different content. You don't want duplicate content, because that's going to be a great way to get a penalty. Same thing with doing all of these off-page tactics that we're going to cover here in a short amount of time. It's a great way to get a penalty, and then you just lost all that time and money that was spent to do all this stuff. So do this stuff at your own risk if you're someone who is not that familiar with it. Otherwise, we're here to help, and if you want us to manage your SEO, there is a link to our website right down below in the description. But now for step number 3, this is going to be around month number 2. The goal is to be creating more authority in the site. So essentially sending more energy from other websites to this ball of energy here, which is our website. And by the way, when it comes to these City Plus service pages, so let's say your HQ city is pretty competitive and you're trying to rank your City Plus service pages for some less competitive keywords. When you start building links even to just the homepage, you may start to see these rank not only because of the on-page and because of the reduced competition for the smaller cities, because the link juice or link energy, whatever you want to call it, will flow from the homepage that has all these other external links coming to it or pointing at it. They will flow to every other page on your site, giving it more authority. Even from the citations that we did back here in step 2, that's going to give these pages a little bit more authority, and it will help you rank. Before we start getting into some of this stuff with our backlinks, is checking your rankings once a week or so, just to see if you're on track for where you're trying to get. If you're starting to see your desired rankings that you want just after citations and some social signals, you may not need backlinks. However, if you want to outdo your competition and make sure that you have the edge on them in the future, you'd still want to execute building backlinks initially and then continue doing so and making sure that you absolutely dominate. Because what you could do from there is expand to more cities if you were to desire to do that by sending more links to your site, by building up that authority. And let's say you have a good high energy site, quote unquote, and then you decide, hey, we're going to expand to another city, maybe open up another office, for example, and you want to establish presence right there. And let's say you're Minneapolis here, and you're going to go up to Duluth. You build a page for Duluth Lawn Care. You can show up right in the search results really, really quickly because you already have all this authority and trust built up. So just an example there to keep your mind running. I know this video is very, very long, but it's very informative for sure. So by the way, I'd appreciate it if you went down below and liked this video if you like this type of content. And if you want to see more content from us, be sure to go down below, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, so that way you know when the newest content is live here on the channel. All right, so now as we get into month number 2, and this is step number 3, we are on the subject of backlinks. So a backlink, I've explained it in other videos, but real quick, it is basically another website that has a link to your website. So that's what the citations are as well. They're just another backlink, but they're a different kind as compared to these, because these are going to be from sites that have not only just high authority in their directories, but these are going to be blogs or news sites, or it could be another contractor's website. For example, if you do work as a subcontractor for like a remodeling company or like a siding company, and they have a recommended vendor that they choose for all their landscaping after they destroy it from hanging siding, then they would probably have a link to your site on there, and that is a backlink. And so that is that. And a quick little note on this is I once had a prospective client ask how many backlinks we're going to build to their site, because say 5 to 8 years ago when it came to SEO, the more backlinks you had, the better your site's going to rank. That's not the case anymore. It's all about the quality and the relevance of those backlinks. So to that, my answer is, if you want to go buy backlinks, you can go to a freelance site and go buy backlinks for the sake of it. It's really not relevant, because what we are doing as a service is creating an optimized website to show up for the searches to capture those prospective customers that are looking for you. They just happen to go to another company because that's who's showing up in the search engines before we get your site there. That's similar to a client asking in a sort of like a cheap manner, because they are still on the fence of whether or not they want to do this on their own, and they're asking, how many dump truck or how many dump trailer loads of leaves are you going to haul away from my house when you do the fall cleanup? It's the same exact principle, and that's not how you want to be looking at your SEO campaign. You want to be looking at it as a return on ad spend, just like any other form of marketing. If you spent 10 grand on a full campaign to get postcards dispatched out, and you earn back 20,000 in revenue, you just had a 2x return on ad spend. You spend 12 grand over the course of a year on SEO, and you make an additional $36,000 just from those efforts. You just had a 3x return on ad spend. So focus on return on ad spend, not nitpicky things that really do not matter. So in the instance of that homeowner asking how many dump trailer loads you're going to haul out, that person really needs to understand that you're paying for the service of not having to go rake the leaves. That would take you 10 hours to do it. That gives you 10 hours to do what you want, whether it's hang out with your family or continue working or whatever it is that they want to do. It's all about a value in comparison. Okay, so back to the topic at hand of actual backlinks to your site. You're going to want to have 2 to 3, no more than that, in that month that you're building these links. If they're from a PBN site, which stands for a private blog network, I wanted to keep this video broad, and this video is going quite long, so I'm not going to get into what these are in this video, but basically, it is a website where you utilize its energy that it has to send a link to your website that you want to rank, and it transfers that link juice and that link energy over to your site, which then helps it rank. Long story short. So that's what you'd want to be doing there for month number 2. And so what that's going to do is really boost the authority, whereas with back up here with citations, that's about boosting trust. And so then we move into month 3, which is step 4, is going to be more authority, and that's going to come from more backlinks. And we continue doing this, but we changed the way that we do it. I'm not going to get way into anchor text in this video because it can be quite complicated to understand and explain. And again, this video is running very, very long. But long story short, it's the text of the link. So an example of like branded anchor text would be the name of the company. Say it's from a news station's website, and they say Always Greener is a great company, and they highlight the text of Always Greener Landscaping, and then they create a link with this text that will link to that homepage. That's anchor text. So other examples of this are that a lot of people do is exact match, which is the actual keyword. So lawn care Allentown, for example. I'm not going to get too specific as far as anchor text goes because it's a very, very complicated subject. But that's anchor text in a nutshell. Month 3, you'd want to increase the amount of links that you're building. And so then we get into step number 5. This is going to be months 4 through 6. And you're going to basically just continue increasing the amount of links that you did from month 3 until you hit your desired rankings. And then though, from there, even though you're ranking, if you were to stop, you may lose those rankings because your competitors could overtake you. When we do an SEO contract, it's generally going to be a 6-month deal, and people will ask, well, what do we do after? my recommendation is we just continue going with that, because obviously when you're ranking, you're generating traffic, you're generating more customers. That just becomes a regular investment that you make every single month to continue bringing in new customers. Because yeah, if you stopped SEO, it may hold for, I would say maybe 3 months, but then you're going to get overtaken by the competition. And then your rankings are going to drop and you're going to lose out on that traffic. So that is SEO in a nutshell. I don't even know how long this video is at this point. I've been talking for a very long time. My throat is absolutely on fire. I'm going to have to go get some tea because I'm still not 100% from being sick last week. But anyways, if you like this type of content, I'd appreciate if you went down below, dropped a like on this video. If you want to stay up to date on the newest content and know when it comes live, be sure to go down below, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell for notifications so that way you know when the newest content comes live. And if you are interested in any of our digital marketing services with building out your website, doing SEO on your website, or running paid traffic, or even if you have a large budget and you're ready to focus on the long game and you want to build an email list, we also offer that as well. And there's a link to all of that information and a whole lot more on our website right down below, landscapemarketingpros.co. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.